Welcome to the Mothering with Jesus podcast, where we are real and raw about the ups and downs of motherhood and where we rally together to become the mothers that God intended us to be. This week's guest is David Donaghue. He is a fitness and faith coach who lives in England, and it is such a great conversation. He was a pastor, and then he decided to combine his love for fitness with faith. And the way he talks about getting to a healthier place physically is really great. He talks a lot about discernment and praying with each of his clients to figure out what exactly is right for them, and just really adapting to the individual needs and preferences of each of his clients. And I just think it's just such a great reminder to remember that God is involved in every aspect of our lives, including and maybe especially our fitness. He wants us to feel great. He wants us to challenge ourselves and take care of ourselves so that we can better share his light and share goodness and serve others around us and just generally feel really joyful. So there's definitely a few things that I am taking into my life because of this conversation. I loved just the reminder of having an important prayer in the morning and really grounding myself to God and Jesus, and the way he talks about meditating on Jesus is really cool. And I know you're going to love this conversation. So let's hear from David. If you've been around here for a minute, you know how much I love my Oliveda skincare. This is a clean, waterless beauty company that has been in Europe for 20 years and now sells in the United States. I absolutely love it. It has changed my skin drastically. It has helped fine lines and wrinkles to go away. It has helped my hydration dramatically. I used to have really flaky skin, and obviously my skin is not perfect. There's no product that's going to make you be perfect, ladies, okay? But I do believe in investing in high quality skincare, and I absolutely love this product. If you have any questions about what regime you should be using, what routine you should be using, then reach out to me and you can shop with me in the link in the description. Do you or your husband snore at night? I have recently partnered with a brand, SLYD, Sleep Like You're Dead. They make nasal strips and mouth strips. I use their mouth strips at night and they are fantastic. They do not come off, and I can even lift them up and talk to somebody if I need to, and then put it back down and it will stay on. So they are so grippy, but they don't like leave weird residue around your mouth or anything like that. I don't know. They're incredible. Very soft, very comfortable, and I kid you not, they literally make you sleep like you're dead. You feel so good when you wake up in the morning. If you know anything about nasal breathing and how important mouth breathing is, then you know that this can be such a game changer, and it can help so much. If you snore, that's a sign of dysfunction, and this is an easy, affordable way to change it. You can shop SLYD Strips in the description, and feel more well-rested, which, let's be honest, that's what we all need as moms. I will have my discount code in there as well. My discount code will also be in the description. Thanks for being with us, David. We're just going to have you tell us a little bit about your work and your family and where you live, because you're not even in the United States. So this is exciting.
Well, thank you, Layna. Thank you for having me. So I'm David Donaghue, and I'm a Brit, as you can hear. I'm from the middle of England, a place called Northamptonshire, and
Okay.
yeah, it's a nice part of the world. Yeah, like I'm a online Christian fitness coach. So basically, I've done loads of things in my life. I've worked in mental health care. Um, I've worked in ministry as well, preaching, mission work, worship leading, and I kind of came out of that, had some burnout, experienced some burnout around that. So I sort of took a step back from ministry and really fell back in love with fitness. It was something I was always interested in. I'm a bit of a geek around nutrition and science, sports science. So yeah, I qualified as a personal trainer and I had a coach myself. So I had an online coach, someone who accompanied me and walked with me in my fitness journey. And I thought, wow, what an amazing job to do. So I was talking to a friend one day and he said, well, like, you've got that pastoral experience
Mhm.
and surely there's definitely a place for fitness and faith. And I thought, yeah, wow, like how often is that kind of neglected in our church?
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, so I launched on a mission to help people get fit in become Christ-like. And I got married like just over a year ago to my childhood sweetheart. We met again a few years ago out of the blue, and now we've got two children. So everything's happened real quick.
Oh, that's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah, so I've got a 2-year-old upstairs and a 9-month-old a few rooms away, and
Oh,
I've
that's
got
awesome.
stepchildren as well. So it's a busy house.
I love it. I love this conversation because just like you said, the faith and fitness, I feel like there's a very tricky balance because we don't want to be so hyper focused on like our physique and how we look that, it turns into vanity. But also, like, we are given this body from God and it is our stewardship to take care of, and it's a privilege to take care of. And so I'm excited to dive into this conversation and learn what you have to tell us about what we can be doing to grow closer to Christ while we're taking care of our bodies.
Mm, mm,
Love it.
absolutely.
So let's start off with um, how caring for your body and, as you worked with your coach, how did that strengthen your relationship with God or change your relationship with God?
Mm, mm. Yeah, so like so true, Lena, what you're saying. When I was in ministry and studying theology, everything was so spiritualized, and I heard people talk a lot about psychology and our humanity, but I veered on the spiritual and really neglected the humanity. And I believe that God's calling us to know ourselves, to really know ourselves and bring ourselves to Him, like mentally, psychologically, like what's going on, and also bring our bodies to Him. Like
Mhm.
there can be a big struggle there, can't there, with food, with movement. And so my experience was I wasn't happy with my fitness, I wasn't happy with my health, wasn't comfortable in my skin, and I tried to pray it away, and
Mm.
if you have toothache, you can't pray it away. You have to go to the
Mhm.
dentist, and God is waiting there in the dentist, So
Yeah.
what I've learned is that I really have to work as well. Like God saves us through his grace alone, but we have to work with him. And there's
Yep.
an old saying, God will do for you what you cannot do for yourself, but he won't do for you what you can do for yourself. So
Yep.
um,
Love that.
so for me, yeah, I really had to take that like ownership and accountability around what I'm doing, how I'm eating, and find some strategies to eat well, because I was a yo-yo dieter, binge eater, and find some strategies and some support. That's where God will work through people, and
Mhm.
the benefits. Certainly, I mean, I'm at an age now. I'm not in my 20s, so I'm not thinking about looking hot on the beach. It is more about energy
Mhm.
and strength and being a good father, a good protector.
Mhm.
But you know what the big thing, Lena, for me is confidence, and not like a fake confidence, but like a deep confidence in comfortable with who you are.
Mhm.
And that's what I believe being fit and strong can bring, and to grow like Jesus, really. Jesus was, we don't know like exactly, but I doubt he was obese. You know, he would probably be strong. So yeah, we're called to align with his grace, honor our bodies, and be confident for him.
Just like you said, not a confidence of just like vanity or like, oh, I'm confident because I look good, but a confidence of knowing that you are caring for your body and that you have energy and you're able to do the things that God needs you to do on a daily basis, caring for children, doing your job, and all the things that we're called to do, right?
Yeah, just I think with confidence, when we're unconfident, you know, when you're just feeling crappy, you can't really like look someone in the eye. Maybe you can, but maybe it's hard. And maybe we pass up opportunities. I think that's a big thing. So that Lord would ordain so many friendships and opportunities to bless people, words to give people. And how many of them do we pass up because of our lack of confidence? Do you know, how many
Yep.
times do we feel we could approach someone and build them up, or but we just people dodge, you know, we sidestep
Yes.
because we're not feeling great. We ate too much last night, we're feeling bloated, or just we're listening to the lies of the enemy. So yeah, it's that kind of thing for his kingdom, energy, confidence
Yes.
for his kingdom.
Yeah, I love that so much. That's what we're here to do is to minister to those around us, to
Mm,
uplift those around us and help them. And when when we aren't caring for ourselves physically and emotionally and spiritually, you really can't do that. You know,
mm,
you choose the self-checkout instead of choosing to go to
mm,
someone,
mm,
in line,
mm,
and maybe you really can bless that person by just being happy or just saying hi. And so I love that. Totally helps you to just interact with people. And I loved how you mentioned that maybe we're listening to the lies of the enemy. Tell us a little bit more about that. That was one of the questions I wanted to
mm,
ask you. We've got a lot of messages coming at us these days, social media with our fitness,
mm,
eat this, don't eat that, exercise like this, don't
mm,
exercise like that. And then, what a perfect body looks like. And we're seeing all sorts of perfect bodies. Tell us a little bit about how Satan plays
mm.
into all that.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Like comparison, um, we're not good enough. You know, I believe like things that Paul says in Second Corinthians about strongholds. Like Satan can build in strongholds in our lives from an early age, that we're not good enough, and we all have. You know, we're not perfect parents. Our parents are not perfect. There's going to be like maybe some negatives coming in, messages, and yeah. And I was just talking to my wife today actually about the culture we're in, and like how did we get to this point in some ways. And it's like
Mhm.
so many messages in the media, even like fake images of bodies. So
Yep.
we're showing this perfection which doesn't exist. Like we all have to get up in the morning looking messy and tired,
Mhm.
and so it doesn't exist. But it's
Yeah, I
just
love that you bring that
yeah,
up because it really doesn't exist. I was thinking about this the other day. Um, like if you go to a beach, you may see people who are like in shape, but like no one looks perfect, you know? Like,
yeah,
and anybody who we look online and think like, "Oh wow, they look perfect, like they have a perfect body." I guarantee there are things about themselves that they critique or that they would,
mm,
opt to change. So it
mm,
is really important to keep that perspective that,
mm,
we are seeing things that are literally modified online to look perfect and that they're not, and that a lot of things we see on the internet aren't true or aren't the full picture. And when you go to the beach or anywhere, you recognize that, like, or you go to church or just the grocery store, like, you just see bodies. There's just a lot of different
Mm,
types of bodies, and it helps you
mm.
realize like, oh, maybe what I'm seeing with all these fitness accounts I'm following, that like that's not exactly how people actually look in the real life.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And I suppose it's asking myself that question: is what I'm doing going to bless others? Do you know? So, am I getting strong that I can look after my kids? I can have energy to run with them. I can lift up prams and protect them.
Hmm.
Or am I getting strong because I'm feeling inadequate? Um, I'm not like the people I see online, or I'm not as strong as that guy at the gym. So, like anything in the Christian walk, it's about constantly asking that question: what are my motives here?
Hmm.
But it's okay to look good. Like that's the thing. It's okay to want to look good and have that sort of self esteem and self respect. Do you know? At the moment, I'm on a bit of a fat loss phase, and it's okay because I want to move into a performance phase. So I want to. This is so that I drop some fat, so I'm lighter, and then my body's going to be more primed, ready to like get fitter. So
Love
ask
that.
myself that question: why am I on a fat loss phase? Is because I want to get into a performance phase,
Hmm.
and I'm not going to go as far as like denying my family. So when we have a holiday in 2 weeks, I'm going to have like a rest. I'm going to rest and I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm not going to exclude myself.
Hmm.
Um, so it's constantly asking that question. Am I serving others? Is this bringing me closer to be like Jesus? And if not, if there's fear and anxiety, it's usually a sign of not Jesus, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. I love that.
Mhm.
Yeah, faith and fear can't coexist, and we know that God and Jesus want us to be full of faith. I love that. Yeah, those are some really good questions to ask yourself. Like, what are my motives here?
Mm,
Why am I doing this? Love that.
yeah.
Yeah, and I
And
think
then
that go ahead.
just saying, like on a sort of a more of a theological level, like we're made in the image and likeness of God, so we have an inherent dignity, just by the fact that we are human beings. So there's that, yeah, that respect and dignity, regardless of how we look.
Hmm.
We have to honor ourselves, have that self-respect. And there's a saying like we love people and we use things,
Hmm.
but our culture says like use people and love things sometimes.
Hmm.
So we have to just remember that, like, um yeah. And I work with lots of clients, and some of them are very overweight and feeling very down and like in on themselves, and it's just a chance to love on them. Like there's no difference between you and I. um do you know what I mean? It was just at different stages, we just have different stress responses, and
Hmm.
helping people like feel better and fitter, and also the gift of life. We're given this gift of life, like we have to do our best to sustain that gift and honor that gift and work with nature to look after ourselves.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. And I think, you know, the opposite of all that, like Satan really wants us to be hyper focused on our
Mm,
looks. And just like you said, keep us from talking to other people, keep us from going out of our way to serve people, because he wants us to feel insecure, and he wants us to, um, view our body as not a gift, or view it as
mm,
something that it, needs to be punished with exercise, or,
mm.
there's just so many lies. And I think um, he can be subtle in his attacks at times as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
like Satan hates humanity. He wants to destroy it. Like that's why we see so much self-harm and all kinds of distorted behavior is an attack on the body, an attack on
mhm.
life, isn't it? So we see his hand in so much.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, Tell us what you do with being a fitness coach. Do you work what are some of the things you use? Are you counting macros with people? Do you create your own program? And yeah, just dive into what you do with your business a little bit deeper.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, so I work with clients who have goals, and I work remotely. So I'm not in the gym with them
Hmm.
um, for like an hour a week, but it's basically like stepping back and saying, where are we at? What goals
Hmm.
do we want? And we pray about it as well. And it's a bit of discernment around that.
I
And then
love
we look at the
that.
gap. Hmm. Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. Um, and then we look at the gap, like where you are now, and how can we bridge that gap? And
Hmm.
usually it involves some kind of nutrition support. And with that, like there's different strategies. So we're all different, and we all. I like to track my food. So I'm the sort of
Hmm.
person where, like, if you'd said that to me a few years ago, I'd say, "Oh, that's crazy. That's obsessive." But it's like a lot of things in the Christian life. Like, if I face what I'm eating, actually visually, like that's what I've had today, then I can face that, and I know, and it takes the thinking out of it. I'm not thinking I haven't eaten too much, or have I not had enough, and I'm feeling hungry. Why? All these questions. I just know actually this is nourishing. I'm nourished, and I've eaten enough. So maybe it's a bit of stress, a bit of
Hmm.
emotional response. So yeah, I like to track my food. It gives me clarity and takes away that mental fatigue. But some people that they want to like follow a meal plan, so they just want like. So I was talking to a client earlier today actually, and she just wants more structure.
Okay.
So we're gonna come up with like 3 meals with some alternatives, and then she sticks with that. And the thing is with like nutrition, and I think a lot of things, repetition is good. Like
Mm.
repetition and patterns are good. I think the body likes similar meals, similar schedule, sleep
Hmm.
times. So
Hmm.
often we think like to get in great shape, it's going to be this exciting journey, but actually it's very like repetitive and
Yeah.
doing simple things.
Just
Um,
doing the
and
mundane, everyday, boring stuff.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And the first thing I do, Lena, is a
Mm.
nourishment phase. So we don't go
Okay.
like into a diet. It's like, let's nourish you. Let's like eat really good food. Let's hydrate. Let's just get loads of good food in, loads of colors, good protein, and then maybe like if there's been a lot of junk food involved, let's put that down for a bit and have a reset. But let's fill up on real good food, and
I love that.
and then we move into maybe a structure. Um, yeah, so the big thing about my role is like accountability.
Hmm.
So how many of us have we've got the knowledge, but it's like it lasts like 5 days or a week
Yeah, the
because we're on our
motivation
own.
just wanes quickly.
Yeah, and sometimes when we're like doing our own thinking, we can get lost, like, and under eating, not eating
Hmm.
enough food, and we get into that weird space where like we feel hungry and we're kind of happy about it, and it just all gets a bit mad. So having someone objective to go, actually, you know, looking from the outside, this is what will nourish you, checking in on a daily basis, so have accountability and contact. And then like at the weekend, there'll be a kind of a check-in where it's like, how's the week been? How's your energy? How's your digestion, your sleep? How's your
Hmm.
training? And then I'll come back with like some detailed feedback. Yeah. And then there's a training element. So I have an app, and then I'll design like a program for someone completely dependent on them. So some want to go to the gym, they're used to the gym, they enjoy it, they enjoy getting out of the house. And others just haven't got time, like they have
Hmm.
like 30 minutes in the morning and that's it. So we'll program something at home. And I'm a big believer in strength training. I think that when I was growing up, it was just like loads of cardio, starve yourself, get really thin, and
Hmm.
it's just not good. And I'm so pleased, like today, just to see, especially women, like training hard, squatting, deadlifting, like pressing, like really lifting heavy and getting
Yeah.
strong. And there's so much research it says the benefits of strength training, moving into, especially when you're moving into your sort of 30s, 40s, to protect your back health, helps
Mhm.
your mental health, your sleep. So a big part of my philosophy is like strength training is like the center, and
Mhm.
then cardio is good. Like cardio is great for your mental health. You feel good after a workout, but it's not like all about burning calories in cardio. That's not how I work. So it's like
Yeah.
we do a bit of cardio to feel good, but it's about movement, like steps, walks, hikes, playing with the kids, gardening. It's just keeping that daily movement up,
Mhm.
good strength training, and then focus on nutrition. And that's like the golden combination that works so well for
Mhm.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love all that. That sounds awesome and really balanced. And I love that you recognize how different people are. And
Mm.
um, I think it's really valuable to just have someone that people can, just like you said, that outside perspective, kind of being like, okay, here's where you need to change this or this, and just helping people like connect with God while they're doing all that. I love
Mm.
that you said you
Mm.
pray about it to discern like what's right for that person,
Mm.
because I think there is a lot of nuance in health because we are all so different, like
Mm.
our, just like you said, our stress responses are different. And then also our genes are different and we're all different, dealing with different environmental
Mhm.
factors. There's just so much that goes into our physical health because it's so directly tied to our emotional and our spiritual
Mm.
health, that I love that you're, combining a lot of
Mm.
those things so that each person can have like a tailored regime for themselves.
Mm. And one of the things, Lena, is I offer spiritual coaching as well. So one of the part of the disciplines would be kind of morning prayer and meditation, and then like I'm a big believer in like nightly reflections and keeping that emotional state. So if we can bring our hearts and our minds to God, and like I say, it's not a magic wand,
Yeah.
but it's big believer in daily, like constantly working on ourselves, humbling ourselves, looking at our day. So part of there's some disciplines in the program as well, and then that will be fed back as well. Like how's your prayer life? Some people really lean into
Cool.
that,
Hmm.
and a lot of our time is spent on that. Other
Cool.
people, they've kind of got a regular prayer life and they just want the kind of fitness. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's there for people.
I love that. That's awesome.
Mm.
So, even though we just talked about how different it is for everybody, give our listeners like a few things that are like universal that, you see helping all of your clients across the board.
Mm. Definitely to have goals. Okay, so we've got energy and we need to channel it. Do you know? So it's either going to go kind of one way or the other. And having goals, and not just kind of number goals, not just scale weight and things like that, but having, I always get like why, but why,
Hmm.
so it's having a deep goal. And that, if any listeners here, if you're kind of in it on a health journey and you're kind of stuck, just spend some time like journaling like your why, and
Hmm.
do it 10 times. Ask yourself why, and then why, and then why, and when we
Mm.
get to sort of the bottom of it, then that's going to be a very big reason and lever for us to help us go forward. So yeah, like mine is my kids and my family, marriage. So these are important. Keep me going in a difficult time. So having a deep goal, and maybe having a surface goal as well. Like think about, maybe you want to do a 5K, maybe you want to do a
Hmm.
half marathon in like 6 months. Maybe you really just want to feel good on a holiday. These things can, like, I talk about a push and a pull. So the goals can, like a deep goal, family goal can like push you. That it's like, I want to be strong for my kids. Like I want to be energetic parent. I want to be around for them and their kids.
Hmm.
And then a pull would be something like an event I'm going to do, or I want to lift a certain amount in the gym, or I'd love to be able to do pull-ups, or a really practical goal. So you've got like a push and a pull,
I love that.
and that can really move you on. I find that I try and do that with my clients, like, what's your push and what's your pull?
Yeah.
And also, secondly, like, to be really honest about what you need. Whether that is a coach, or whether that's some support around our emotions. Maybe there could be some blocks there. So
Mm-hmm.
we find we're emotionally eating. Maybe we need a bit of support around. I've had therapy in the past. I think it's just so good. Like, I'm always encouraged, especially guys, like, come on, we're all learning. We all need to
Mm-hmm.
learn about how we tick. So yeah, just be honest about yourself. If you're in a cycle of like, I lose weight, then I gain it, I lose it, then I gain it, just get honest and be like, look at the pattern and be like, okay, I need to do something different. What does that, Lord, what does that look like? Like, show me, in spite of my fear, like, what does that look like? And maybe it is getting some help. Maybe it is reaching out to a coach, or a PT, or some nutritionist, just to get that help. Because
Mm-hmm.
the Lord calls us to each other. So if people contact me, it blesses me. Hopefully I can bless them. So get honest as well. It's really important.
Love that. That's such good advice. Okay, so set goals, get honest with yourself about what help you actually need. So good. And I loved that
Mm,
prayer.
definitely. And I just drop in there, I do have a really good resource all around grace-filled progress rather than perfection. So it's
Okay,
this
cool.
thing, like, getting away from this perfection, because with perfection, you win or lose, like,
Mm-hmm.
all or nothing. We need to, like, move into, like, a progress mindset of, like, grace-filled progress. So I do have a resource, absolutely free. It's a really good document. So if anyone wants
Okay, cool.
to check that
Yeah,
out, just drop
I'll
me a
link it in the
message.
show notes.
Mm,
If you send me the link to it, then I can just pop it in.
amazing. Yeah.
That'll
Just
be
drop me a
perfect.
message and I'll send it over. Yeah.
Going back to, how important our relationship with our body is,
Mm,
what some advice do you have about how we can, view things from a better perspective?
yeah. Yeah. So if we have poor body image and things like that,
Yeah.
I suppose, like, really just trying to be others focused, because one of the things we can get is very wrapped up in ourselves. And
Mm-hmm.
from my experience, like, I can be quite self-centered and think that everyone's thinking about me and looking at me, and they're really not. So yeah, like, if you're feeling not great, if you're having not a great day, just, like, smarten up, shower, look your best, and just go out there and bless other people. Just, like, get away
I
from
love
yourself.
that.
Yeah, like,
Shower, look good, and go bless
shower,
other
make your
people.
bed,
That's perfect.
and just
Yes.
bless other people, and get out and just, yeah, just get away from yourself for a bit and
Yep.
bring it to the Lord. But yeah, like, the whole thing about it's this fine balance between accepting yourself but also having a goal to move forward. So we need to
Yeah.
accept ourselves and love ourselves. We're not our weight or our looks. We're complex, and we're gifted, and we bless, and we're loved. But also, it's okay to go, you know what? This year I want to get healthy. This year I want to feel good. This year I want to, have that confidence. So that's good as well. So it's just be careful of just celebrating maybe where you're at if you're not happy. Love yourself, but also have goals, to go
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
so important because just like you said, with our perfection mentality, sometimes culturally we end up just like, oh, just like accept yourself right where you're at.
Mm,
Or we're just like so hyper focused on becoming ultra fit that, like that's our whole life. And, we tend to
mm,
be too self-serving in that
mm,
regard. We have daily routines, like self-care routines that go on for hours and hours, and
yeah.
and maybe that's not exactly where God wants us to spend our time
Mm,
either. So there is a fine balance. And I loved how I just loved how you said that with your clients, you are going to pray with them and, ask for the gift of discernment of what each person needs.
Yeah.
And I think that that's like the big, just like in so many things in our life, as we connect ourselves to God and as we're asking Him what He wants from us, like that's where we're going to be able to find balance. Like it's impossible to like actually find perfect balance in everything, but that like we're gonna be focusing on what's important in that season of our life as we're asking God, because He's the only one that can know, and He's the only one that can tell you exactly what you need in that moment. And so, I do these podcasts all the time, and it just all goes back to our relationship with God, because He just loves us so perfectly and individually, and He knows exactly what David needs right now, and He knows exactly what Layna needs, and He knows what you as listeners need. And as we are letting go of fear and trusting Him, then that's where we can find, confidence and happiness and peace despite anything else that's going on in our life. So I love that even within this conversation of fitness, that, whatever you're struggling with physically, that God knows, and He knows the simple things that can help you, and He can show you. I loved, when you were saying, you go to the Lord and you can say, help me, show me honestly what's really happening here despite my fear. And, I think it can be easy to kind of go through our fitness journey like with our eyes half closed, like yeah, I exercise every day, but maybe I'm not doing it the most effectively, and I eat healthy, but then maybe 40% of the time I'm not eating healthy, and that's really killing my goals. But if you're doing it without actually recognizing those things, then it can be really detrimental, and it can be really easy to just overlook all those things.
And to prayer is so important. I pray in the gym. I pray for people around me, because you just don't know what's going on for people, like you're on the
Yeah.
treadmill and guy next to me, I don't know what he's going through. So yeah, just bring the grace, that great atmosphere of grace with you. And just as you were talking, I was thinking of my daughter earlier. So in the UK, we have this ointment called Sudocrem.
Okay.
Sudocrem, it's like a white nappy ointment, and she
Yeah.
had like a whole hand in it. Okay, so she was covered, and she just came up to me with it, and it just reminded me like what I just she just came up to me with this, like the look on her face, and it was like just go to God with it. Just like I just my prayers, just I just try to be real and be like, Lord, like I want to do this, I'm thinking this, but what about this? And just come in, just invite Him in, but present it to Him as well, like where you're at, and just like the child, just get real and like bring it to Him,
I
and
love
that's why
that, because
meditation is so important.
she could have gone and hid away, and made a bigger mess for herself and
Yeah,
you.
there've been hand marks everywhere.
Yes.
But yeah, like meditation is so important for me, like having that quiet time, because I'm very good at asking God, but it's like listening as well. And
Mhm.
I find that if I make time in the morning, there's usually grace later in the day. So I make time in the morning, like 5 minutes if I'm sort of on the go, and it may feel a waste of time, but later in the day I might just get that thought, like call that person, or just be patient, or you get that inspiration because I made time in the morning.
Yeah,
I really
definitely.
believe in that, so it's a big
Yeah,
part of it.
there's a scripture in the Book of Mormon that says, by small and simple things are great things brought to pass. And just like you said, sometimes those 5 minutes feel like, well, I might as well not do it because it's just 5 minutes. But
Mm,
like those 5 minutes really can, just like you said, set up the trajectory of our day
mm,
so that we
mm,
are thinking back to God throughout. So I absolutely love that. And I just loved that analogy of taking everything back to God like your little girl. That's so cute. How do you do your meditations? Are they like, something you've pre-recorded, or how is that part set up?
And for me, like, I spent so long trying to work meditation out. I was buying books, I was looking at all kinds of things. But for me, it's not about me, it's about God. So I thought meditation, you had to feel something or you had to experience like something. But actually, for me now, it's just faithfulness. So it's making time to be still and sit obviously somewhere quiet, be still. And I visualize. So I use I just think of Jesus in the gospel, maybe with friends, maybe walking along the road. I just see him. So for me, like if I'm looking at him, that's it. That's enough. So I look to Jesus, I set my alarm, and my mind immediately goes off to something else. Like I get distracted, but I don't fight it anymore. I just bring my mind back, like just gently back to Jesus, and then it goes off again. Back to Jesus, back to Jesus. So once my alarm goes off, I've done 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is. Praise God, like that's it. So I don't score myself. I don't critique myself. I just turn up and give. And God, it's about God. It's not about my performance. And that's how I do it. I just focus on him. And some days it's great. Like I can really get into the scene. I'm with him and we're walking together and I get a lot from it. Other times it's a struggle. But I think it's the greatest thing we can give God is our time. Because really, like, that's giving him an opportunity to come in, isn't it? Like if I'm talking, then I'm doing the work and I'm running the show. But if I'm quiet, like actually give generous to God, like I'm giving him space, I'm giving him time, and he loves me. Like that's what he wants. He wants time with me.
Yeah.
And I'm a hypocrite because I should do it more. But you've helped
Hey.
me tonight to up it.
Hey, that we're all right there, right? But I love that visual of just like back to Jesus, coming back to Jesus and guiding your thoughts back to him. And I bet, doing that for a few minutes in the morning literally trains your brain to do it
Mm,
throughout the day as well, and so that,
mm,
more frequently you're coming back to Jesus
mm,
and thinking about him.
mm,
So that's awesome. Tell us a little
mm.
bit about what your daily routine looks like. Apart from your work, like what does your morning routine look like? You said sometimes it's just 5 minutes, in prayer and medication. And how much are you exercising, or even as like a general rule, how, if somebody really
Yeah.
wants to get fit and care for themselves, how much time do they need?
Yeah, like so for somebody, definitely we want to be doing a couple of strength sessions, at least two, in order to kind of stimulate your body. You could do 30 minutes twice a
Per
week.
week?
And
Yeah.
then, yeah, twice a week would be minimum
Yeah.
because you need sort of some frequency. So if you're going to say do push ups, like if you can hit your chest twice a week, you're going to make more progress. Um, and then just movement, like we don't need to spend hours on the treadmill, on the row. Just movement, get out walking, keep busy. And yeah, with cardio would be good for fitness. So maybe you throw in a couple. So I've just working with a client now. She's doing 2 strength training sessions at home and she's doing 2 cardio sessions, and then she's walking like 8K steps a day.
Oh, nice.
um as for myself, like I would so I get up in the morning. I'd love to say like I drink a liter of like lemon and cucumber water, but that's not true. I put the kettle on and I brew a coffee. Um, and then I get on my knees and pray. And I like to pray. Like I like my family to see me praying as well. I think it's a powerful witness for my kids as well. And We
Yeah, I
have
love
like
that.
some oven mittens in the kitchen, and like I'll throw them on the floor and kneel. And my little girl, sometimes I'll find her on the floor kneeling on these mittens. So
Cute.
it's like a good, yeah, it's a good
Mhm.
example. And I'll pray, and that's the most important. Is to set up my day with the Lord, because I'll just want to do. I want to get on with doing, but I need to sit with the Lord.
Mhm.
I'm usually up first in the house, and then I'll have my meditation. Then I'll drink a liter of water. So water's important. So I'll drink pint glass, and I'll just
Mhm.
like I've got this ability to neck drinks. So I'll have like a liter of water, and then I'll try it. Any listeners, like, try it, like a pint of water, like 500 ml. You'll feel bloated for about 5-10 minutes, but then afterwards you feel crystal clear. It's great.
Love that.
Then I will, if I'm training in the morning, I'll have something light to eat, like a bit of fruit, and then I'll go to the gym. It's like 10-minute walk, and I'm currently doing like 4 days in the gym at the moment, and I'm on a fat loss, so I'm doing a bit. I've got an exercise bike at home, so I'll do some cardio as well,
Mhm.
and then I do some work in the morning. Like I'm productive in the morning in terms of work, so I'll get on the laptop, do some work. I'll have some breaks, play with my kids, and it is that discernment, like, because I could go, you know what, I need to do some cardio, but actually my kids are really in a great mood and they're all together. Let's just spend that time. So I find I'm constantly having to discern the next right thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I'll try and eat. I'll try and prepare food so that I've got good food to hand. And yeah, like, I'll do some more work in the afternoon, and then as the kid dealing with the kids. So me and my wife, like, a teamwork, and
Mhm.
I'll cook dinner. She'll have the baby a lot, and then evenings, like, kiddie time. So bath time, and dealing with my 2-year-old. So we've just about worked out how to. We had to sit with her for a long time in the cot. I like to sit next to the cot,
Mhm.
but we've edged away now. So we sit outside the room, and now we sit like way outside the room, and it's working. It's so good.
Oh,
So
yay.
I've got some time back in the evening, because it was like 2-hour job, like, in the
Yeah.
evening. So now I have some time, and then it's really important to make time for my wife as well, because
Yeah.
big believer in, like, marriage comes first, because then there's a strong nest for the kids. So
Yeah.
try and make, but you know what it's like, you're tired and you can get grouchy, and then in the end of the day I'll do like a little review. So I'll write down, just look at my day, I kind of flick over my day, and I'm like, okay, how's my love been today? And then if there has been any, like, fear or resentment, or I felt off with someone, just have a look at that as well, because it's easy to brush it under the carpet,
Yeah.
and forget, and kind of like, oh, that doesn't matter. But actually, these things can cause us slight stress. So I try and get perspective, bring it all to the Lord, and then hit that pillow. Yeah. So
Mhm.
kind of
I
my
love
routine.
that. I love just like the intentionality and a lot of the verbiage that you used, just bringing it all to the Lord and focusing on just all the little issues that could have happened throughout the day
Mm,
and using that nighttime as just like a reset to start the next day fresh. And I just love all that. What great advice to really just be more intentional with everything, with
mm,
our emotions, with our
mm,
movement, and with our prayers to God. And
mm,
um yeah, and I need to get better at showing my children when I'm praying. And I really liked that little tip too. I think it can be easy to like I listen to my scriptures a lot on my headphones because I'm, on a walk is usually when I end up listening to my scriptures and my kids don't see that to them. I could be listening to,
mm,
a book or a song or whatever, right? Like they have no idea. And
mm,
um So yeah, I love that reminder to show them the effort that I am putting in to be
Mm.
close to God, so that they can just recognize that I did have a relationship and I do have a relationship with him. I
Mm.
remember, growing up, my parents were so good at just kneeling to say their prayers by their bed every night. And, as a teenager, when I was up as late as them, then, I saw that. And even as an adult, I remember I went back to my parents' house several years ago and was visiting them and caught them. I took a picture of them because they were both kneeling and praying at the same time. And like that picture is just so special to me.
Mm.
It's so foundational to recognize the relationship that your parents
Mm.
have with God. And I
Mm.
think that that can be really impactful.
So true. And intentionality you talked about. I lost my mum in March, so a few months ago,
Oh,
and
I'm
it's been a
sorry to hear
difficult
that.
time. Yes, and it's just that thing of like life is so short, and everything. I just want everything to be intentional and be present. I think that's what I'm saying. Be present. So with you now, like with my kids, like completely present, because we're all guilty of being mindless,
Hmm.
where we're just away, and that's kind of natural because there's a lot of pressures. But
Yeah.
just to try and be present and enjoy relationships, because it's so important. Every relationship.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, be present, and I need the Lord's help with that as well.
Yeah.
You know.
I love that. Okay, I loved it. I've loved this conversation that we had. Thank you for sharing a little bit of your heart and your faith with us. And um, yeah, I just felt like this conversation was a really good reminder of how we can focus our efforts physically back to God. And
Mm.
just, you brought up so many times of just bringing it back to God and giving it to God and asking for God's help. And just like in every part of our life, of course, it is pertinent in our fitness journey as well. So I love
Mm.
it.
Mm.
Love the faith and fitness conversation.
Um, if anyone wants to connect, I'd love to hear from anyone. I'm mainly Instagram and Facebook, but my Insta page, just like message me and just want to talk. You want to ask any questions? Like I'm there. No pressure, no sales, just to help really. So feel free to drop me a message, David_Donaghue
Perfect.
from my.
Yep, and I'll have you tagged and I will have all of your links to your socials in the show notes of this. So
Thank
thank you,
you.
David. Thanks for taking the
Thank you, Layna.
time. That was awesome.
Cool.